You know, it's been quite the week on Sportswire Radio. First, we heard from this guy who's the original voice and the only voice of Saliva. You probably heard of him, Josie Scott. Yeah, he performed this entrance song of this guy, Batista, then the alternate song of Chris Jericho, and even Get the Tables, and oh, that movie Spider-Man, those ending credits, you definitely heard of a hero. Then we had this guy named Kieran Robertson, who's apparently the guitarist for arguably the greatest heavy metal vocalist of all time, and is coming to a city near you. Kieran Robertson, who plays for Jeff Tate, as I alluded to, the greatest heavy metal concept album. He's following the trilogy up to it. Then we just announced we had this guy on who's apparently big in Germany and comes right from my way and just played for the first time in 18 years, Mark M.E. Edwards. Not me Edwards, but M.E. Edwards of the band Overlord. How do we top all that? Well, we've got a guy that's the king of the West and is the GOAT of BYW, and he's got an enterprise worth of championships, and he's going to talk about that. He's going to talk about how now in BTW, he's challenging anybody for that championship, and on top of that, he's challenging anybody out there for a shot. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about what's going on in TPW, EPW, and I only listed 3 of the 5 belts he's got. So that means he's got 2 other belts that I guess I don't even know about. And maybe he'll even tell us about that. Plus, we'll talk about who knows whatever else and maybe even some Sportswire Radio usuals that have been on this platform that our guest has battled. How about this guy that's supposed to be on a farewell promo tour? His name's Devin Adams. I'll talk to our guest about that. What about this guy? Because there can't be no other way if we don't mention him. James Taylor. This guy went and battled him. He battled him before James Taylor said, well, no moss to the yard, Comatose. Well, he told him a thing or two about why maybe no moss in the promo wrestling world. And what about Lyra Limber? Yeah, I saw those promos on the other side of the road. I thought the chicken couldn't cross to the other side of the road. We're going to talk about all that, plus who knows whatever else, and maybe even the Hall of Fame monitor of Sportswire Radio who's here in this chat that apparently cut a promo that sounded like maybe he should join TPW. Maybe he should join EPW. Who knows whatever else? I haven't been live on Sportswire Radio in days. You can see my voice is about to blow up like a helium balloon, and I literally just came out from a recording studio. Yes, it's true. I just came out of a recording studio, but we're not going to talk about that. That's for another time. I am now going to introduce our guest here. Because for those that are listening and watching in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that he most certainly helped build, we're going to give him that introduction. But before we do that, in the famous words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, let's get rocked and start this weekend and the fall officially off here on Sportswire Radio, the #1 global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, #1 global sports show. Oh man, that has got not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 belts in the promo and the wrestling world. His name is simply but the good of BYW and the king of the West. Go! Comatose! Mr. Five Belts is here.
Yes,
My
sir.
friend, how are we doing?
We are doing absolutely fantastic, Tom. I have been on one hell of a tear, and I cannot wait to talk about it with you.
We're gonna talk about that, but I'm gonna break the fourth wall for it because I see Mama Comatose is here, and you and I were talking about this, and you want to say hello to Mama Comatose, and hopefully Mama Comatose will tell us she's doing a-okay because we saw a post on Facebook, and you want to talk to Mama Comatose because you and I were talking. You hadn't heard from Mama Comatose. Well, she's
Yeah,
here now.
Mom, I wanted to know if you were doing okay because I haven't heard from you today about recent events. So I hope that you are doing really, really good today. I'm praying that everything went well when you went to the facility, and I love you more than almost anyone in the universe.
Well, we definitely hope that Mama Comatose is doing well, and we'll come back to that. But I guess maybe I should ask you. I mean, I listed 3 belts, and you've got 5 belts. I mean, you want to talk about that for the audience, maybe?
Yes, I do. So I am not only your inter-promotional champion of backyard wrestling, I'm not only your change of fortune champion of TPW, I'm not only your world heavyweight champion of EPW, I am also the tag team champion of TPW, and I am also the tag team champion of EPW with my brother in arm, Dario Divine.
Well, sounds like then you seem to be good at tag team wrestling in the promo wrestling world. You seem to be good at that.
I guess I am pretty good at it. I'm a lot better than I thought I would have been, for sure.
You know what? I guess that'll be certainly something we'll get into. Yeah, well, congratulations on that. We'll definitely give you something in a little while. But I guess then I want to talk about BTW first because that's obviously a world that we talk a lot of bit. I was in the chat on Tuesday for a bit of it. And I do appreciate all the BTW gang in the chat wishing me a happy birthday. I do appreciate that. So
Happy
enough
birthday,
about that.
man.
But Comatose, I'll put it up on the screen shortly. But for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage that the platform that you and many of the companies you represent certainly help build Sportswire Radio. Talk to me about this challenge that you've put out for, well, not just anybody in BTW, but anybody out there
Mhm.
in the yard for
In the
that
yard.
championship that you have. Set the tables for us, Comatose.
So, here is the reason, ladies and gentlemen, that I am doing this. I have been in BTW for quite a while now. I've beaten legendary names, very big names in the backyard wrestling community since I've been here. RJS, Swift, BES, Jacob Frost, I should say. Another name who like Voldemort, we won't say his name. Um, but I just keep beating everybody, and no one seems to be able to take this title from me. So I want whoever thinks that they have the largest pair to step up to me while I've been on an absolute tear to try to take this belt from me in a BTW ring.
But Comatose, you make a good point, and I agree with you. You've had a great run the past year and a half. You've beaten some of the biggest names currently are in this generation in the backyard and the underground wrestling circuit. But why not just, I don't know, maybe just keep the title, and you've proven what you've done with that championship, and just keep the title, and what do you got to prove though after all those names you beat? Why continue to defend a championship that you've proven why you are the GOAT of BYW, and the king of the West? I want to know.
The reason I keep doing it is because a title's lineage is not made off of a single champion. A title's
Right.
lineage is made off of multiple champions. And I want there to be one day that talent out there that could step in a ring with me and actually take this belt from me fairly in a one-on-one match, no matter the stipulation, even if it's unfairly. I just want someone to have the ability to take this away from me. I want to keep challenging people for this belt until one day my shoulders have been laid on the mat for that 3 count and somebody else has to carry on the lineage that I built this title up for. I want them to feel the weight of the world that I've had to carry on my shoulders.
That may be also. I mean, those are things that certainly make a lot of sense, and we'll take this off the screen. We'll plug the BTW links shortly. But I mean, do you have any ideas on who you think may want to take a shot? I just saw that guy's name on the screen, Jacob Wayne, but we know who he's setting his sights on, so that would, for now, take him off the burner. But I
For
mean,
sure.
is,
I mean,
yeah,
I've gotten a few messages for sure.
yeah.
There's a certain All Wrestling Matters champion that's texted me about it. There's a certain person who I won't name once again that may want his get back after I pinned his ass 1, 2, 3. There may be a certain person I used to look up to that runs a certain little place in Newburgh that could
Oh yeah, I
possibly
know what that
want
is. That one I know. That's
want to
that
test the metal on his crown
the
like
Newburgh
I
Rebels.
made like I made the other king or the tyrant king have to do. I want to
Well,
see how many of you kings actually have valuable metal on top of your head.
that's a great point. I mean, that obviously Newberg. I think I know. That's last name McDonald.
Oh
First
yeah.
name Navon. That's a good one. That's a good one. There is a Tyrant King out there, but I think
Oh,
you competed against him though in something else. So I don't know if that's really necessarily needed to be done. But I do want to break this news for a minute because I want to give you what Mama Comatose would like to give you an update. I know we don't like to usually do this on the air, but you and I were speaking about this, and I had asked you casually, "How is Mama Comatose?" And she would like to tell us, and I would like to actually read it off. I'm doing great. I am being tested now. Also, just have the gene. You can figure out what that is there. So we're doing consults for his. I don't even know how to pronunciate that. Double.
hysterectomy.
Well, I'm glad you said it, not me. I don't want. I don't want to butcher any more words. You are the butcher after all. And double mastectomy with reconstruction for cancer prevention, and also one of the two, not the gene mutation. Sorry. So that's what the. So we want to hope that
Yeah,
Mama Comatose doesn't have any further with that, and we definitely want to keep her in our thoughts and prayers. And I hope everybody
absolutely.
joins me in doing so. Mama Comatose is always in the BTW chat. She's been here many times, and I'd like to, be very, very considerate of that and hope that she is doing well. So we got that off the screen. But, okay, that's great stuff. Great points that there's other people you've mentioned champions other places, great talents. There's other people here, but I mean, why not just maybe stick to BTW? I mean, listen. I mean, what about Mikey D? I mean, how about Mikey D? What he did? I mean, maybe that's a guy. Or just go out and say, I want to let the challenger even. I mean, I know. Look, what we talked about you and your brother. You were here last a couple weeks ago. You beat him. I mean, we know you and RJS are done. I mean, why not just stick, to BTW? But you say could be anybody.
Because I want a challenge. I don't want to get complacent and get comfortable because comfortability is the enemy of man. It is the reason that man has become so soft and that there is very few who you can call royalty inside the backyard wrestling community. So I don't want to be complacent. I don't want to be that man that gets too comfortable under the blue circle and the blue tarp of BTW. I want to be a man that invites the people that want to gas themselves up, that want to fill their head full of hot air, and I want them to come and actually take a belt that means everything to me. I want them to take a belt that represents more than just BTW. It represents all of backyard wrestling. If you say you're the best, why not prove it against the very best who is already proven?
Well, do you feel that you have to prove something else to be where you want to be? I mean, look at what you've done recently, right? RJS, you ended that rivalry. We talked
Yes.
about that here and the respect. That's one thing. Your brother, You were here last with the gang, and we talked about the importance of beating your brother. Okay, you did that. So, do you feel there's more pressure to continue to top what you've done? Because, like I said, you and RJS feud went on for over a year. Definitely got more personal than maybe some would have thought, but you got the closure. All's well. There's mutual respect. Then you had your brother. You talked about the importance and the history of your brother, but you closed that chapter. So is there more pressure now to prove on what you've done? And maybe that's what it is, really, the pressure to continue to top what you've been doing?
It really is. It actually really is. Because the simple fact of the matter is that I can continue to call myself the GOAT all I want, but I need to continue to prove it with action and defenses with the championship that I have been building for damn near a decade now. And the only way I'm going to accomplish both of those goals is by continuing to compete, whether that's win or lose. Because if I lose, the lineage of the belt continues. The belt continues to grow just as I want.
But if you lose, though, you lost the championship
I
that you've
did.
held, and but that's not what you'd want.
No.
Listen, yeah, you could say the lineage will continue, but losing a title that you have, that's yours, to lose
Yeah.
that championship. That wouldn't be a good feeling, though, and that's why I
Oh,
say
it won't.
this could be a risky venture, especially now, Comatose. After your Mr. Five belt, you got 2 tag titles in the promo world. You got the Change of Fortune title in TBW. You took Remy from Remy Roberts. That you've got the EPW World Championship. So realistically, you're risking being Mr. 4 belts instead of 5 belts. So this is still risky
It is
business
definitely.
for the Tom Cruise movie.
It is definitely risky business for sure. But I just want to continue to be that role model and to continue to fight for this belt no matter what. No matter what, and that is simply because the people that have held this belt in the past, such as names like Ashton Manson or even people like my brother, Ashton Manson sat on this belt for about 4 years and did nothing with it. He didn't defend it one time until it came time.
I think we lost Comatose there shortly. Well, hopefully he'll come back. There you go, Comatose.
I'm back.
There you go. Continue.
Anywho,
You were talking
so
about the lineage of it. Obviously,
the
your brother
lineage of
held
this,
the
yes,
title.
my brother.
Ashton Manson. You were talking about those
So
things. It's a risk. Yep.
it is a risk, and he sat on it for years. I don't want to be a guy that just keeps sitting on the belt just because, I've defended it enough. Hearsay. Um, a very valuable life lesson that I have learned recently over my spiritual adventure is that no matter how much you do, there will never be enough to satisfy everybody. And I am a person that, just like that saying, has a bottomless pit in my stomach. So maybe it is that I just want to continue to outdo myself. Maybe it is that I'm just hungry for a challenge. Or maybe it is I just want someone to take it from me. And multiple things can be true at once. That is for certain. I do want someone to take this from me. I do want to fight. I want all the smoke from the entire community. I don't care what your last name is, your first name is. I don't care what your acronyms are. I don't care about any of that. I want the smoke. And not only that, I want you to bring it with everything that you have. I want you to try to end my run.
Well, I'll tell you what I like people to do is if you want to watch the run that Comatose has been on, you can hit the sub button for BTW and you can support the guys. They're on Instagram, they're also on TikTok, and the BTW gang will be back here in 2 weeks from Monday to get us ready for the next BTW premium live show. And their shows are every Tuesday, 6 o'clock Eastern time in God's country, as I like to say, in beautiful Roseburg. But speaking of things, I guess you kind of alluded to it, spiritual, and you're a spiritual journey. I guess I hear now that you've gone on a new spiritual journey. I guess what's going on there with that? Do you want to talk about that? Because some people might be wondering. Well, Comatose mentioned spiritual, and he's now been awakened. And you want to talk about that because that
I
might
can
take people back by surprise.
I can absolutely talk about that. And this conversation, if you don't mind, Tom, is going to get a little personal.
Okay.
So I messed up big time. Um, and unfortunately, instead of taking that time to self reflect and realize what I had done, instead of doing that, I decided to do something incredibly stupid, which is what got me into the situation I'm in the first place. And that was take a drink of alcohol. Now, that was probably the most disgusted I had ever been with myself. And at that very, very moment, I knew that I was lost and there was something missing in my life that I needed. And it didn't just turn out to be one thing, it turned out to be multiple things. Firstly, I am very open about that I am in recovery. I am a recovering alcoholic. I am over 140 days sober from taking a single drop of alcohol. Thank goodness. Um,
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But I could not have ever done that alone without our Lord and Savior himself, Jesus Christ. And
Amen.
I knew that I needed this in my life. Because for a very, very long time, I fell down a dark path and I believed in an entirely different religion called Wiccanism. And no matter what happened in my life, I never really truly felt I could have just peace.
Mm.
And since I have turned myself over to the faith, I have found my peace. And not only have I found my peace, I have found my character defects. I am working on my character defects, not just for the better of me, but for the better of everybody around me and for the better of relationships that I'm trying to mend and people that I've hurt. I just simply want to show them that I am no longer that person.
Well, I mean, listen, that's obviously quite just a quite a statement there, and there's no question that you have had quite an interesting journey. But listen, everybody has bumps in the road. Everybody goes through their peaks and valleys. We were up, we were down, we were up, we were down. And there's no question that you have had a lot of self reflection. And I think that you've obviously taken your life in a positive direction. And there's no question that everybody's in your corner and everybody supports your decision. And I think that, there is obviously somebody above, and that is Jesus Christ, and he is our Lord and Savior. And I think that it's great that you have taken that step. And I think that everybody should support you on that journey, and every day is a good day, and 140 days is going to turn into 1,400 days, and I don't know if it'll be 14,000. That'd be like 50 years almost. I don't know how long that'll be, but I think it'll turn into a lot more days, and let it be that you'll never take another swig of alcohol. And listen, I don't even drink, and I don't think you'll need to drink. And I think everybody, though, needs to go out there and follow Comatose on Instagram and follow him on his journey. And I think that everybody should be in your corner. And I think that I do agree with one of our comments from your BTW brethren, that it is very, very supportive. And we respect the fact that you are changing your life and being sober. I think that, I read all too often about people in alcohol. As a matter of fact, this reminds me, as many people I think would know by now, had this guy on, Josie Scott. He was the front man of Saliva. Most people know Batista, I Walk Alone, Chris Jericho, Walls of Jericho. And I had asked him a question, which kind of ties into what you just said. I had asked him, is there any advice that you would give? And And Josie Scott had said, don't do drugs. He talked about don't do drugs, don't drink, don't do anything like that, because he had talked about his own struggles, his own life pitfalls, and it ties into what he had said. And I also, have had on, Mark Farner of Grand Funk Railroad talked about these same things as well. He's obviously, we're an American band, and I'm your captain. But, Saliva, we just had him on a few days ago, the legendary Josie Scott, the guy that wrote Hero. I mean, this is a guy that's out there on the road, and he's, sold millions. And he said his advice to, and I asked him for any wrestlers. We had a lot of wrestlers come on, and that was his advice. So if Josie Scott could tell everybody here on Sportswire that don't do drugs, I'm gonna go with Josie Scott. I mean, I'm not saying anybody, if you want to smoke or drink, it's your choice. I would never judge anybody on what they want to do in life. But I think if Josie Scott's telling me not to do it, I'm going with Josie Scott. So I think that kind of goes in line here with what Josie Scott was saying of Saliva. And like I said, we're all wrestling fans. Even if we're not a Saliva fan, we know Batista's entrance, and we know Chris Jericho's Walls of Jericho. So I think that that's, a powerful testimony that you gave there, a powerful statement. And hopefully now you'll channel this energy into what's next in BTW and maybe what's next in the promo wrestling world, because I understand that you have 4 championships, and I understand recently, because he's here in this chat, we haven't got a chance to talk about it. You had a promo battle with this guy, James Taylor. Well, I'm going to break it here, by the way. You should definitely tune into that. He's coming back here Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. He makes his return to Sportswire for the first time in almost 6 weeks. He's going to talk about what he's been up to. He's going to talk about Omega Championship Wrestling. He's going to talk about also you and him in that promo battle. And I'd love to get your opinion on it.
Well, my opinion is simply just this. It was wonderful working with you, Mr. Taylor. Absolutely. I wish there was a little more to it, but and regardless, I loved working with you. I will always love working with you no matter what. But it just wasn't enough, was it? It just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. The metal on your crown, man. You see, when you gold plate things, the plating tends to chip, and then you see the copper underneath. There's no gold plating on my crown. That's solid gold.
Yeah, well, maybe there can't be no other way, and maybe it's time that James Taylor it's the promo wrestling world's not there for him, I guess. Maybe that's where, he just, there can't be a rematch, because you have nothing left to prove.
I don't have much left to prove at all, for sure. Especially, I don't know. I mean, if Mr. Taylor ever wants to second guess his decision, which is one of the human's best characteristics, is second guessing decisions, make your way down to Roseburg or pick a place in a couple years. We can meet in a ring, and then we could have a rematch.
So you don't think he wants to smoke in a promo battle again? You think he's done that? Really, that James Taylor, he's obviously it's caught up to him, and he can't catch you, and he can't hang with.
I don't know if there's. I'm gonna be cocky. I don't know if there's anybody in the community that could catch up with me. I definitely know there isn't in the backyard wrestling community.
It's funny you said that. That's an excellent segue, because you and I were talking about this off the air, and I thought that was a good point that you made. Obviously, James is returning here Saturday night. He will talk about Omega Championship Wrestling. He will talk about what's going to happen between him and the big boss TIP. But there was a guy. I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily say he's the backyard, but he's here in this chat. He's definitely a guy that is also, like you, certainly has his opinions. He's also very spiritual. He's definitely a man of faith. He's also got championship gold like you, and he's the Hall of Fame monitor of Sportswire. He will be certainly quite the topic tomorrow night, because speaking of people also returning to the platform, Sean Jovi is returning. He's returning tomorrow night. But this guy, Justin Parsley, who had, cut a promo, and I'm not really interested in what the promo was more or less, but what I was interested more was in the technique. I'm not interested more in the back and forth of the details of it. But what I thought was interesting most is that Justin Parsley was cutting these promos on Instagram, and it made me think, well, why isn't he doing that in TPW? Why isn't he doing that in EPW? And why isn't he doing that against Comatose? And what do you think about this?
Why aren't you doing that against me, Mr. Parsley? Why is it, Mr. Parsley, that whenever it comes down to Comatose and you in competition, someone catches that speed bullet train that they got in that I got in Japan, and they just speed on out of here and act like it never happened. I would love to promo battle you, Mr. Parsley. I would love to see you in TPW. As a matter of fact, I know Rocky real well.
Yeah, Rocky. I mean, Rocky's been on here a bunch of times. And Rocky and I speak. And Rocky, by the way, I want to give Rocky a big shout out. Rocky is also now venturing into the wrestling world. He is training to be a professional wrestler. He has been going to training regularly, and he has really made a lot of life improvements on his own. And Rocky now is looking to go into the wrestling world. And I thought that you and Justin Parsley in TPW in a match. I know James Taylor has been there, and he's certainly seen that. We're going to get to another person that's also been in the wrestling world that has competed against you. I think you're much more excited to talk about that. But I think you and Justin Parsley would be an excellent promo match. And I know for a fact, without saying 100% with certainty, but I know Rocky well enough that he would love to see Justin Parsley and you out there.
Mm-hmm. I think we can put on a spectacle. I think we can put on a story, especially me knowing how your brain works, Mr. Parsley. I feel like that we could put on something for the ages for these folks.
And didn't he once say he saw himself as the younger version of you?
Younger?
I think he did. I'm almost certain. I feel like he.
I mean, I if he said that, thank
I
you.
don't think. I mean, he's not James Taylor. He's not James Taylor.
Yeah.
But I feel like I could see the similarities. I mean, I think in a promo match, the Hall of Fame, and I know he's occupied right now with Sean Jovi, and Sean Jovi is going to talk about their match next week in the Palo Community Center. He's gonna, I'm sure that's gonna be a big topic. Jovi's gonna talk about that. Him and Mephisto against Soldier and Justin Parsley. Again, definitely gonna talk about that. But I mean, I think that you and Justin Parsley would be a heck of a match. I know he's not focused on you at the moment, but I mean, I would love to hear more about that.
I would personally love to hear Mr. Parsley's thoughts on that myself. But my man, my DMs are always open. You know where to find me.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, quite a run for you in the promo wrestling world. James Taylor, obviously you've defeated him, and he's taken his talents not quite to South Beach like LeBron did, but he's taken his talents to Cleveland, Mississippi. Yeah, Cleveland.
He did the reverse LeBron. Okay.
pretty much. I mean, that's one thing. Lyra Limber, who's obviously bounced back and forth. She talked. Lyra Limber talked about the backyard. Lyra talked about the backyard, and Lyra has also been in training. That's one thing. And then you also have been in the promo battles with Devin Adams, who's on a promo wrestling farewell tour. So maybe Mr. Parsley would be one person added to your list, but after the results of Adams, Limber, and Taylor, maybe Mr. Parsley just wants to stay
Storm and AJ Storm. I snapped his undefeated.
AJ, yes. No, AJ, no question. But I think for a lot of the people, I mean, AJ has been on here a couple times, but I think in terms of the in-ring competitors who have done both, there's Lyra Limber. Obviously, we've seen Lyra Limber at NEW. Lyra Limber has also been training alongside Donovan Dijak and doing ring work. Devin, we know Devin, obviously, from what he's done in CPW and now back in the world, in the world of wrestling again. He's been back. GTS, he's been in, and then you've got James, who's, I mean, James is James. So I just thought that would be interesting that Mr. Parsley could be another opponent. I know you talked about your list on BTW TV, but in the promo wrestling world, I mean, think about this resume, right? Lyra Limber, Devin Adams, James Taylor.
That is pretty impressive. Not that you say it out loud. It sounds really
Yeah,
impressive.
listen, Devin Adams was just in WTW and defended that championship that he had in CPW in a WTW ring. Lyra Limber, like I said, was in NEW for a little while, training to be pro. James Taylor, now a part of Omega Championship Wrestling. We know we don't have to go into anything about his career in the yard and on the platform, his own show, the Nemesis Sessions, and then again, that possibility if Justin Parsley would want to do it. But I understand he's preoccupied. He's got
Yeah.
Sean Jovi, but that could be another name to your list. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
really, I know the run in BTW has been impressive, and I am not taking anything away. You know that everybody, we're back here in 2 weeks, but if you think about maybe this promo wrestling run you've had, maybe it's been more impressive than your backyard run. I mean, not to compare. I know you're going to not like me doing that, but
No,
think
you
about
can
this
do that.
run. All right.
It's
Well,
fine.
I mean, maybe this run in promo wrestling has been more impressive than the run you've had in the yard the last 18 months. I don't know. What do you think?
For the sheer numbers, it's undeniable. Actually, if we're going down to actual statistics of it, absolutely. I have 4 promo wrestling championships simultaneously. I've beaten the biggest names in all of promo wrestling, except for maybe a couple. It's been and it's been a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be too, which is saying a lot about you guys. Says that maybe someone not only needs to step up for this belt, but maybe one of the other 4 that I have in promo wrestling. Can anyone stop me in any of these scenes? Please. Someone, I'm begging you.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go turn to the chat. But, actually, before I do that, I'm going to do it because even though I don't have to, but there can't be no other way. Congratulations.
Oh, hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. You know what? I got the new button, so we're gonna do this.
Boom. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Comatose Day.
not the bleep button, but yeah, close enough. But all right, people want to talk to you in the chat, and I want to give them the opportunity because people have been waiting a little while. We'll come back to some promo wrestling stuff. We'll leave this up here. Zilla's here in the chat. Would like to say hello to you. Thank you
Hello
for
to
Zilla
the
for
GOAT
tuning in here.
fans.
Thank you, Zilla. Zilla was here. And he called you, by the way. I don't know anybody named Ethan here. I only know Comatose. You meant to say good evening. You meant to say good evening. I don't know anybody named Ethan though. Here, I only see Comatose. Do you?
Yeah.
Maybe you know anybody
Honestly,
named Ethan? I don't know. I mean, I don't. I
I
don't.
work with an Ethan.
Oh, you know what? I don't see anybody named
I don't see him here though.
Ethan. Glad you're back to the Yardzilla. Yeah, that's nice. And speaking of other people, Chase Wakefield. Speaking of the Von McDonald, he knows him well, and he got married apparently. Yeah,
Well,
married.
congratulations, by the way. Congratulations.
Now that's
Absolutely
almost like
banger.
you hate me for saying this, but it's I guess getting married is almost like being born again. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Trying a career at stand-up comedy. But we do it every year on Sportswire. Yes, and we're going to talk a lot about Soldier tomorrow. We hope Soldier's doing well. And hello, we wish Soldier well because his son had heart surgery last week. So hope they're doing well, his family. Thank you. There you is. The Hall of Fame monitor was here. Skulls is here. Good evening. Thank you, Skulls, for tuning in. There is Mama Comatose. Presumably that may be RTG. But you know what? I wanted to ask you about that actually. If it is RTG, baby, Jacob Wayne, we've seen his promos, and now we know that he's setting his sights on somebody. What is your thoughts on Jacob Wayne and what's to come there?
I've
What are
been
you at?
waiting a long time for someone to ask me that question.
Well, you just did. You did.
So I've wanted to face Jacob Wayne for a very, very long time. I think he's a very, very talented individual. Whoever he has his sights set on, I hope he doesn't get too full of himself and end up costing himself the match once again. But I think he's a very, very talented individual, and I'm questioning why you have avoided me for so long.
But he's also
What?
talked about that he's going to end somebody's run here in BTW this season. He's promised that. I mean, you don't want that. You obviously been having this amazing run in the
Oh,
promo.
I don't
You
want
know,
that, but I don't want that at all. But what I want and what's going to happen could very well coincide, you know? I mean,
yeah.
if he's coming after me because he said he's going to try to end someone's run, and I don't know who's having a better run than me right now inside and outside of the ring. So
What about
stop him.
RTG's run? What about RTG's run in
Well, I will say, I
BTW?
very rarely does Comatose give this old fart props right here. But what I will give him is that you
And I
actually
like his New
wrestled
York.
a
I
match.
like the headset. He wore a New York shirt the other day. He probably wore that because he comes on Sportswire so much. I
Yeah.
gotta cut him some slack.
Oh yeah. And he actually wrestled a match and defended the belt.
And
You
he won. And he
actually
won.
he
And he
won.
won. And he
And
won.
he
Yeah,
won fairly. He
he
actually
did.
won fairly for the first time since I've seen him in person. Holy crap.
Well,
Like
maybe.
I'm mind boggled, and I do believe a round of applause is deserved for the dinosaur. Uh, Absolutely. But I do think I don't I've got to say when it comes down to trying to end a man's career. All right.
Yeah.
I know your mission, Jacob Wayne, is to end RTG's career.
Yes.
But let's face it, the man. A lot of people have said that in the past to RTG, and it hasn't happened yet.
But RTG hasn't faced Jacob Wayne.
He
Jacob Wayne
hasn't.
was on
He
here.
hasn't.
He's like the size of like 3 Mikey D's.
He is. He is. That is very, very fair. But he also just beat one of the very most talented, if not the most talented prospect in the entire yard in BES. And
Great.
not only that, he also beat who I believe is the most talented member of the BCF4 in Andre Xavier at
Yes.
the
Andre Beast
same
Mode.
time.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we're gonna compare each other's last matches, considering they haven't faced yet, so that'd be the only way you can do it, I'm gonna have to go with RTG.
Well, I guess hell is frozen over. I mean, that's just what I would say. I mean, I'm sure there'll be some responses toward that. No, my vocal cords are fine. I just I appreciate that. I'm not having honey and lemon. No, we're not doing that. No, not a chance. If Tom was not a radio host, he'd be ringing announcer. I get. Oh, well, I mean, you should know that I had Josie Scott was like, "You want to come out on the road?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just let me know." And then we had Queensryche, well, the Kieran Robertson, the guitarist from the original singer of Queensryche, Jeff Tate, and he was like, can you announce me every night on stage? I'm like, yeah, and so yeah, I'll do whatever is needed. So if the big boys think that, then who knows? The time may be coming soon enough to be a ring announcer. Because if Josie Scott, who sold millions, and Kieran Robertson performing for the vocalist that has sold millions upon millions, would like me to come on the road, the time might be coming. But thank you, Skulls. Comatose, that is a terrible nighttime drink. So I got to back you up, Comatose, because I always do think of you when I buy Baja Blast. It's because of you, Comatose. Mountain Dew, I do the do. So I am a Mountain Dew fan. Although
Thank you.
I will not say on air what people used to famously tell me about what Mountain Dew does, which I disagree with that. I'm not going to say it on the air. I'll tell it to you off the air if I remember, but it's a funny joke. We have Mama Comatose here, and Zilla, and Princess Jade, and we ain't gonna do that here. So James Taylor, who we know is here. Hello, Mama Comatose. Zilla, thank you very much. Mama Comatose says she'll be good. Thank you for that. And oh no, it's the Scream King of the West. He looks SAWFT. Yes.
I'm sorry. So you're quoting a wrestler that doesn't have a job. Congratulations. That's what you're going. If you want to manifest that into your life, RTG, I mean, you're holding on to your life.
Just to confirm. It is RTJ. BTW Skulls is located in Roseburg, Oregon, and you can hit the sub button for BTW, which you should. He's based out of California, which is great because the BCF guys are out there. And James Taylor, because there can't be no other way, wants to tell you that the only reason that that title is on your shoulder is because someone like me hasn't gone after it. But you've already taken him down in the promo wrestling world, so there really isn't much to prove.
Nah, there's not much to prove, but I saw you bumping. I saw you bumping. I saw how you were throwing those things. Come do that in a BTW ring.
Yeah,
I'd
he's done
glad
it. Like I said, he took his talents to
to
Cleveland.
South Beach. You did. You joined Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosch. And now you guys are on the way to go to the finals every year instead of, hanging with the backyard crew, in the draft.
Yeah. Well, I will say just a quick NBA note. I was my friend Joe Rosas who celebrated my birthday, and I was with him in beautiful Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Do believe that LeBron will play until he's 45. That's which would put him to 2030. That is, everyone was saying, "Oh, he's going to announce his retirement on Tuesday," and he was. But I do believe that he wants to play until he's 45. Why? Because Tom Brady played until he's 45, and there almost is no other athlete in the major sports that plays at that level. I'm just saying. I just think he's going to play till 2030. That's my
That
prediction.
is a great prediction, and I hope so.
Well, I mean, he looked at me and was like, "Wow, that was he," and that's what I was with. And Anthony Sloan, another guy whose brother also hosts a podcast. I want to give him a shout out, the Intentionally Unintentional podcast here in beautiful Brooklyn. And I that's what they were like. Wow, it was a good point. Speaking of people though, in the BCF, they have their problems. Steven Storm. I mean, they have their problems in the BCF. What do you think about the BCF these days, real quick?
Um, hmm.
RTG's
Well,
been very vocal about them here.
I think there are some things that RTG said about that situation I agree with. I don't think that Steven should join the Northwest Society. I don't know why RTG wants him so bad. I have my own opinions on the ranking system of the talent that goes in the BCF4, and if that gives you any indicator, why would you choose him? Um, but that being said, I also don't like seeing Mad Jack just torment you three, and I feel like maybe you guys might want to grow at least one testicle between the three of
We
you.
talked about that on the chat last week. We were all here together. We did our usual spot. That was actually the last two times we were here, and I'm sure that that'll be a topic 3 weeks from now. 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks from now. I'm sure that'll be a topic.
Oh yeah. For sure. I just hope the best for you guys. I really like Mikey. I like what he's doing right now. He's never beaten me, but I like that you got the TV title. You were the last one to get it in your group, besides obviously Andre. Out of the original guys, you were the last one to get it, and I'm happy that you got it because you are entertaining.
Well, if you'd like to have more entertainment, hit the follow button for Comatose on Instagram, and we'll get back to more in the chat. There is Jade, and you missed Parsley. He's in the chat, but he appeared and then disappeared. And James Taylor, who has his opinions, we'll leave that at that. Thank you, Mikey. We had alluded to that. We appreciate that comment. And Justin Parsley, you're here every time I'm gone. Maybe it's coincidence. Maybe it's not. I think it's just coincidence. And she'll be here tomorrow though when Sean Jovi's here. She'll have plenty to say. And she doesn't like James Taylor because James Taylor and Justin Parsley wrestled each other. But we won't go down that road. Hello there. Yep. And congratulations on that testimony. I completely agree. And Comatose is going to be the CM Punk of WWE. We know how much you love CM Punk. I mean, so
that'd be wonderful. Oh yeah. Man, if you want to talk about the ultimate goal, it's facing that man.
Well, sure. You know what? You could challenge him for the BYW Interpromotional Championship. He's gold.
Come on, Punk. Come on, Punk.
Thanks for the spam comment on Twitch. Hey, you never know. You understand the ring. I'd absolutely dethrone you, though. But you've beaten him in the promo wrestling world. You have that win? Just saying.
I do have that win over you, my guy. I do. And I do understand the ring. And I understand that a record is a record, too. 1-0. And that's all I got to say is 1-0.
Because there can't be no other way.
No other way. Mm-hmm. Because Comatose said so.
And yes, we got the point. Justin Parsley in caps locks with a Y. James calls him Kyle Reese, but he doesn't really look like Kyle Reese these days. But I'm just gonna let that comment go. Yes, hello there. Oh no, thanks, Comatose. No thanks. I think it'd be a good thing, but I don't want to not like Comatose. She's a fan of yours, but doesn't want you to
Oh,
battle parsley. Yes.
you don't want to not like me? Oh,
Well,
that's
she's having
cute.
problems right now because Jovi's on tomorrow, who she normally likes. But Jovi right now could potentially look to take the tag team championships away from Justin Parsley, and Soldier GP is her uncle, so she's conflicted there too. I mean, boy, she's in purgatory right now, wrestling purgatory.
Uh-huh.
The run in BTW is impressive in how much he chokes.
And how much I choke.
Oh,
I
don't you think that Jacob Wayne will look to choke RTG if he has his way?
For more than likely, he more than likely will, and he probably will do it with one of his biceps and
Yeah,
flex right into the camera while he's
I mean, he's like a baseball player. He's like one of those characters you see those big heads years ago. They had these. It was NFL Blitz. He reminds me of one of those characters from NFL Blitz. Just the big heads. He's just big
yeah,
and
yeah,
and I mean
muscles out the ass.
he's got muscles and you got questions. And how do you plan on keeping your title?
Ah, the
I
same.
brought up Mikey's and I brought up our brand new BTW TV champion who won in dedicating his match to his. We talked about his late great mama. He talked about what that match meant to him, and he pulled it off. And he asked, "How are you going to keep your championship?"
And I feel like that is a very, very good question. And I feel like that the tactic that you use to win your championship is the tactic to do it. You have to put meaning behind your actions. You have to put meaning behind every single movement that you make in the ring, and that means you have to put meaning behind every single win that you collect. And the meaning behind every single win that I collect and every time I defend this belt is because I want to be the greatest ever. And this belt has only been the strongest testimony to prove that I am. So I will continue to do that.
Yeah, I mean that's something you talked about now for almost a year. That you do want to be remembered as the greatest in the backyard circuit. You want to be the GOAT of BYW, and that's another reason why we have his Instagram page up and give him a follow. And it's also his day. That's what
Oh
she's
yeah.
reminding you of. Yep. And congratulations to Comatose. Chocotos, Cry Me a River, RTG.
I'm crying a river because, oh my God, all this success is just so painful. All this weight of all this gold that I am carrying is absolutely aching my shoulders and my back, RTG. I think I'm going to need you to set up a massage table for me because your best client is hurting right now.
Well, you know what? RTG also, which he made a point of in his promo on BTW's most recent episode, did defeat him in his company. So he has that victory, and that's something he's going to carry with him and continue his run and the Dude Crew, which is a good point. And also Mikey D, he seems really interested in this championship because what would happen to you if you lose that championship? I made the same point as to why put this championship on the line. Obviously, we're going to see what happens. There was certainly a segment that alluded to that toward the end of the show on BTW TV this Tuesday. But I mean, just why put that championship up was my point.
Well, that's a good question. What happens if Comatose loses his championship belt?
Yep.
I know it's been a long time since people have seen me without this championship belt,
A
but
very long time.
but
Very, very long time.
let me remind people of what that looked like chasing it against Ashton Manson. What happened was is that fool neglected this belt so much that he lost the original one. So the company had to get a whole new belt, which is the one that I have right here. But where was he at? He was on vacation or whatever the hell he was doing for 4 years. And so I decided to snag it for myself and taunt him and show him what a real world champion looks like. Now, he might have beaten me fair and square for it, sure. But that didn't matter at all when it came back to him actually defending it. It was a one-hit wonder for that kid. And it'll be the same for anybody that takes this from me. Because if you think you're going to take this belt from me, and I'm not going to come back after your ass 10 times harder than I did when I was trying to defend it, then you have another thing coming. I
Mm.
have a knack for getting very vicious when I lose the things that I love.
Well, some strong words there. There is no question that those words are certainly strong, and I'm paying attention very closely to them, and I hope everyone joins me in doing so. Yes, hello to RTG. He is here. And what do you think of James Taylor in OCW, which we kind of alluded to? And James will be here Saturday night to talk about that. What do you think about James now wrestling somewhere else? What is your opinions on that?
I think that that was a fantastic move for you, and you didn't. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Go for it.
You had me from the time the before the bell even started to the very end of that show. You were throwing the bumps. You were selling moves like hell. The story is it wrote itself before you even came there against the man that you famously faced after his match, Big Boss Man.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I think you're going to thrive there for sure. But just remember, just remember why you're there. Because Comatose is in backyard wrestling.
Oh, and remember who's 1-0 against James Taylor in pro wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Dang
Comatose.
straight.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
Now, whenever you want to run back the promo wrestling thing, that can be done at any time. Any time. But as for the ring, my friend, you better focus on that big boss man
No,
first.
we're going to be talking a lot about that Saturday night. James Taylor returns in prime time for the first time in nearly 2 months. There can't be no other way. So you have to tune in as James Taylor makes his long-awaited return to Sportswire Radio to talk about his matches in OCW, Omega Championship Wrestling. You will not want to miss this one. James Taylor is back on Sportswire Radio. It is going to be one for the ages. Like I said, follow Taft Taylor, Taft_Taylor. You will not want to miss this. And James Taylor has put the OCW roster on notice. But let's get to some more comments. Yeah. How do you plan on keeping your championship to anybody? Let's just put it that way. I mean, Mikey D's obviously hinting at something, but general question. Obviously, what is your thoughts on that?
I'll do the same thing I did the first time and win.
Coach,
Simple
next
answer.
question. We'll go to the next question. Let's get to more comments. Anyways, how is everyone? We're doing great. I mean, obviously, everybody's having a good time. We're back live, and want to thank everybody for their support. Also, want to put this on the screen. I normally don't like to do this, but I will do it because we had the good pleasure of Motley Crue founder and bassist Nikki Sixx sharing my clip with Josie Scott of Saliva, and it's only gotten, I don't know, 30,000, 40,000 impressions by now. So thank you, everybody, for that. And I want to thank all the wrestlers, Comatose included, BTW, and even the guy you don't want to name, and James Taylor, especially, and all the IMF people for, their support of the platform and getting the likes of Josie Scott on here of Saliva and Kieran Robertson, who plays with Jeff Tate, and all the great people that they wouldn't be here without all the wrestlers and especially the backyard and the underground. So I want to take the opportunity to thank all of the backyard and the underground wrestlers for their support of the platform, because these people, these big names, wouldn't be here if it wasn't for everybody. And the promo wrestlers as well. I want to take the time to thank them as well, because they have been a part of the platform. Well, Chocotos, nobody cares about your rankings. He's a multi-time heavyweight champion in the BCF, a multi-time tag champion in BTW, and a former TV champion. Also, Chocoto Steven has more talent than anybody knows and just needs a person who plays chess to help him get over the hump. RTG.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, So you want to know who else had multiple world championships when they were in the Northwest Society, but they got booted like a hot sack of potatoes?
Um,
A certain beast.
certain starts with an S, right?
Starts with an S. One of the most talented backyard wrestlers of all time.
Yeah.
Now, if you can do that to a guy like that, what the hell could you do to a guy like this? Just a question, just a general question for the audience, just for food for thought.
And it's not beef. It's not what's for dinner.
Nope.
Wait, does Comatose know? Well, I think that's her poster has this guy on there. That's who she's alluding to. So there you go. James appreciates it. Also, I guess you don't love the Continental Championship. Then do you, Chocotus? Well, that's obviously the championship that RTG baby has been holding. Well,
Yeah.
since you relinquished it to him.
Oh, yes. And that is the best way you could have ever said that, because it wasn't a win. It was relinquishing it peacefully, like the president does every election.
Well, you hope that, but I'm not going down that road. Let's go to the next comment because James Taylor knows there can't be no other way that I tell him this. You understand I paved the platform that you currently stand on, Mr. Comatose. Actually, both platforms, BYW and promo wrestling. James, many say, is instrumental in promo wrestling and its growth. And certainly BYW, even James Taylor was around in the backyard before RTG baby. So there is a point that James Taylor has been around in both the backyard and the promo wrestling world before some were even born.
Yes. And this is a simple case that RTG tends to fall into. It's that old man syndrome. You see, you might have built the pavement and the square footage of the platform that I currently reside on. But did you build those apartment buildings? Did you build that gas station, that grocery store, city hall? Did you build the kingdom that I have created upon the platform that you have given me? No. All you are was the base level for me to build up on.
That is definitely Comatose's Manhattan Project. Well, and Jovi and Steele. Well, that guy last name Steele, well, he is returning Sunday. He's returning.
Another name I'd love to face in
Quite a
promo wrestling.
lineup, right? Comatose, Jovi, Taylor, and Steele. Yeah, I guess
Mm-hmm.
things are back to normal, huh? At any time with a snap of my fingers, I can show up anywhere I want, and like my song says, I've left my mark everywhere I've been.
Yeah, and like my song says, you're gonna be leaving with an overdose of me.
So you're saying that maybe James Taylor, he's now you've become sober and clean, and that James Taylor is going to go the other way?
He's gonna go the other way because he's gonna get hit with that hard drug. It's called Comatose. Yeah, it's that new one on the street that you haven't heard of because, of course, you haven't been on the street in 20 years and wouldn't know. But there's that new one on the street called Comatose, and it'll leave you with an overdose by the time you leave Roseburg for sure. Yeah, you're
Well, that's
you're
a
gonna be
good point.
dreaming.
Well, you know what? That's a great point, and we'll certainly see what happens with James Taylor. But speaking of other people that you've battled in the promo wrestling world, I did want to bring up a couple of names. First, Lyra Limber. Lyra Limber had plenty to say, but you certainly had more than plenty to say. And
Oh yeah.
even if your hype promo was behind or
Oh
whatever
yeah.
it was, and I mean, you want to talk about Lyra Limber, somebody that's been on my platform. I know Lyra Limber
Yes.
very well.
Yes, and that one was one hell of a match. That was a great
Yes,
match. It
I
was.
stopped and watched them on both my page and the PWF's page, by the way.
And I'd love to run it back with Lyra any time. Only problem I had with his stuff is those first two hype promos.
Yes.
When you were sitting there trashing the very same community that you got your upstart on. Backyard wrestling. And I get it. Sometimes when you're just a side character in somebody else's movie, that hits a little different because this movie's my movie. And that's probably why you're jealous of me, because I got my own movie while you were just Chris Tucker and Friday.
Oh, ooh, and you know what? I mean, Lyra Limber does work at Starbucks, not quite on Fridays, but Lyra had plenty to say about you, no question. And it got personal. Lyra did talk about the backyard and talk about some other
And he quickly
places.
backtracked. quickly,
Yeah.
quickly, for sure, because he must have known that Jake Dvorak was watching. He must have known because he worships him. Jake,
I mean, listen, Lyra Limber is obviously had an interesting past, but Lyra
I
Limber,
love Lyra. This is all just me
yeah,
throwing
I
shit.
know
I
that.
love
I know
Lyra.
that. I know Lyra very well. I speak to Lyra. Actually, I speak to Lyra pretty regularly, but Lyra Limber doesn't want to smoke. But apparently, Comatose, there's somebody that wants to come in here for a few minutes and say something to you, and it's not RTG. It's
I
not
can take a
RTG.
guess who it is, though, for sure. I
Well,
ruffled someone's feathers.
you want me to bring that person on because it's not that person
Oh,
that you can't name. It's not that person, and
oh,
it's not RTG.
I think I know who it is, and I'm ready.
All right, you all right with it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait a minute! I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I
I
knew
didn't
it was
know.
him. I knew
I
it
didn't
was
know.
him.
I legitimately had no idea who it was, and there can't be no other way because James Taylor has returned before his appearance on Saturday to address Comatose because, well, there can't be no other way. James, it's been a minute, so I'm just giving you the floor.
How you doing, Comatose?
Doing absolutely wonderful, James. How are you?
We're live.
I mean, are we having trouble? I'm hooked up to.
We're live. I mean, we're live. I mean, James, I know it's been a minute you've been here, but you've been here like
Can y'all hear
150,000
me? I
times.
feel like you can't hear me.
No,
I
well, I mean, we're live. I mean,
I can
well, I guess maybe
he'll come
James
back.
Taylor was defeated not by you in a promo battle, but this time by his Wi-Fi. So
My
it looks like
technology.
Comatose 2, James Taylor nothing, and I guess there can't be no other way. And happy birthday, happy birthday! Definitely want to wish. I didn't see it on my timeline, but if it's your birthday, I'll wish you a happy birthday, and everybody else's birthday it's coming up. You also get a happy birthday wish. But I guess James Taylor has been defeated by you once again. Bit 2-0 against him. Maybe there can't be no other way
Get him up
because
out of here.
I hope for Saturday's show that his Wi-Fi won't defeat him there. And yeah, he
Me
does have
too.
that PCF4 Wi-Fi. Yeah, but
Yeah.
no other
He's got
way.
that
The
he's got that
PCF.
Steven Storm Wi-Fi.
Well, that's why Steven Storm is only video. I also, by the way, she thought it was Parsley, but yeah, Parsley's not here. But James Taylor was here, and he left quicker than a New York minute because, well, his Wi-Fi was defeated, and kind of like
Yeah.
how you've been defeating everybody. Devin Adams, you were out there in battle with. I mean, a man that is on a farewell tour. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm so sorry that I had to be the Brock Lesnar on your farewell tour and just absolutely torch you like that. I really am. Like how he did to John Cena on his farewell tour. Yeah, I just kind of came in there and F5'd you and left, didn't I? And I do apologize for that because I'm not going to lie, man, you are a very talented individual. Absolutely. And you are a force to be reckoned with. It just wasn't the right guy, wasn't the right time. And yeah, I'm very sorry.
So you think that this maybe is a reason why Devin Adams is going to, well, exit stage left?
Um, it could be a big reason why he's pulling the old Jordan retirement in the middle of the season for sure.
Well, I mean, speaking of people who we think have figured it out,
Okay,
James Taylor,
take two.
you're back.
We should go back to that other layout. Looks
Oh,
a
you want
lot.
that? Because it's funny. My guest that I pre-recorded with a guitarist, Mark Edwards, ME. He kept telling me it's ME. I'm like, okay, ME. He was saying I've got to have the wide angle, and I'm like, okay, whatever you want, sir. But James Taylor, whatever you want, sir. Same thing. Whatever you want, sir. The floor is
I can't.
yours. You built the platform. You got the floor.
I appreciate that.
Got
Comatose,
the
look, I've
floor.
been listening to you all night, and the more I
Yeah.
listen to you, the more I was just getting, I feel so happy for you. You got your little throne, you got your little crown over there in the West, and you're feeling all mighty and proud in the promo world because you got a victory over the nemesis James Taylor. Need I remind you, kid? you got a victory over James Taylor, who did not say a word to you, and you barely escaped me. Not only did you not barely escape me, you got lucky going back to the hospital and spent a couple of weeks in there. Did you forget to mention that to the world? That I
I
beat
did.
the hell out of you. Yeah, you got the 1, 2, 3. It took a hell of an effort on your part, but beside the point, you spent the rest of your time in a hospital. Now, remember, this is the promo world. I didn't say a word, and I still beat the hell out of you. Now, if it was really face to face that close, like I tell everybody else, just like I told the big boss TIP straight to his face that I was going to come up to Cleveland, Mississippi, if I had to come up there to Oregon or wherever the hell your little scrawny stick looking Where's Waldo ass would be, just like that, I would knock your ass out. Period. And I would show you why I am the Tyrant King in all of wrestling, not just the West, not just the Northeast, not in the Midwest, and not even just the South. Hell, not even over there in Australia. I'm talking all of wrestling. You're looking at the Tyrant King, and there's a reason why they call me a backyard legend. There's a reason why they call me a promo wrestling legend. There's a reason why they call me the Nemesis James Taylor, because I back up every single thing I say and I'm all about facts. I have a PhD in that ring, and can't nobody stop me or tell me different, including you. You got a lot to learn, kid. You got a hell of a road ahead of you. 100 something days sober. That's incredible. That's awesome. Why don't you do it for 2 decades straight? Let's see where you get.
Well, he's on
Talk to
his
me then.
way. He's on his
I'm on
way.
my way. I'm very much so on my way. But there is no way that my sobriety is going to take on your sobriety in a ring and pin that down 1, 2, 3. That's going to be our physical bodies. So the sobriety doesn't have anything to do with it. What does have to do with it is the gold-plated crown that you have upon your head, or should I say the tinfoil, because was that what it was that was messing up your Wi-Fi? Was your crown just around your Wi-Fi router and it started staticking up and it just kind of made it hard for you to come on here? Because here's what I need you to understand, James Taylor. You told me this a couple months ago. As a matter of fact, it's almost verbatim, word for word, that you just said the same thing that you said to me a couple months ago. And what you don't realize is that I'm Comatose plus 2 more months. And guess what Comatose has done in those 2 more months? I've beaten names like yourself, regardless if I was in the hospital for a little bit or not, and regardless if you said a word to me or not, because if I need to remind you, you could have. It doesn't matter, because the only thing that close matters in is horseshoes. And you might have been close in horseshoes and won a couple games there, but getting close against me didn't get you any wins whatsoever, did it? And let me remind you of something else. I am an EPW World Heavyweight Champion. I am the Change of Fortune Champion in TPW. I am a multi-time, multi-holder of Tag Team Championship Gold. And not only that, my friend, like you, in the ring, I am your backyard wrestling interpromotional champion. And you want to know what this belt represents? Interpromotional fighting. You're a man that likes to travel. Why don't we test the metal and see the sparks fly in reality?
Are you done?
Oh, I'm
I
done.
knew he was
Do
gonna
you have
say it.
any more? See where you failed to understand, kid, is I don't have to distribute and promote my accolades to the world to prove who I am. I just do what I do best when I get in that ring and perform and beat the hell out of whoever's in front of me. Win, lose, or draw, the end of the night, everybody will know who the Nemesis James Taylor is. You're just comatose. I get it. You're proud of the championships you've got. You're proud. You feel real mighty of all the titles that you've held so far. You're looking to hold more and more. don't get greedy like that certain somebody that you had a little bit of a rivalry with his so many 19 world titles or whatever that he's had. He's not even 2 decades old. Beside the point, you're better than that. But this is your, think of it, your cross paths. You're at that intersection right now. Do you want to go left or right and decide, do I want to be that guy who only worries about what type of gold I got on my shoulder? Or do I want to take the straight path that's going to lead me to success, to make me somebody, a household name, a name that people know, not because of what championships or titles you hold, but because of your name, period. I don't have to have titles to make myself known. I haven't held a world championship, well, before the BYCW Undisputed Championship. I haven't held a title in 19 years. I didn't need a championship. It wasn't that I couldn't earn one. Let's just say in that backyard world, there's too many bullshit politics, so that keeps you from getting and gaining certain championships. But I don't need them because no matter what, I'm going to steal the show. Because everywhere I show up, even at OCW, if it came to BYW, wherever your little BTW, wherever it is, James Taylor will steal the show. And if you were step in the ring with me face to face, you'd have the greatest match of your entire career. Look at certain individuals that are doing their stuff in the underground world who had one match at least with James Taylor. And that's really the only match that people talk about. You remember that match you had with Taylor? They don't talk about the other 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 matches they've already had. They talk about the match they had with the nemesis James Taylor because that was the one that everybody remembered. Because that's what I do. I'm a true headline. I'm a true superstar. I'm a true main eventer. And I don't sit there and gossip and blast that all the time. I just am all about those facts, Comatose. You can be on the right path if you take that right road because you're coming up to that intersection really fast at the 150 miles an hour you're going. I like the tenacity. I like the fact that you're wearing that crown proud, but you see, I think that's where you're a little colorblind too. You say it's gold, right? My crown isn't gold. My crown has a lot of scarring. It's got a lot of rust. It's got a lot of marks. Those are notches of every single person I've been in the ring with. I've earned my crown. I've earned my throne. And it's going to be a long time before anybody knocks my ass off of it. That's because it ain't happening ever until I'm ready to give that throne up to the next person who
Yeah, I think
absolutely
Comatose could be
deserves
that
it.
man that you do pass that torch to. I think Comatose could be that man that you pass that torch to. Whether it's back in TPW, House of Rage, if it ever came back on Instagram, or EPW, or who knows, wherever else. Could be in OCW. I mean, it could be anywhere, but maybe Comatose could be that man that you pass that torch to when
Could
when it's
be.
ready. Obviously, you got
You
plenty of
got
time.
you are absolutely right, Tom. Last 60 seconds, I promise.
Okay.
Comatose,
We're
everything that I
good.
just said, I hope you take that. If anything, rewatch the stream and rewatch what I just said and record it and try and memorize it because I want you to really, really, truly listen to what I'm saying and understand that these eyes don't lie. Every single thing I say is truth. It's facts. It is all about reality. It's all about this business. There is nobody that I have yet to meet that eats, sleeps, breathes, bleeds, cries for this business more than the nemesis James Taylor. Period. And the day I finally meet that individual, then I know that it's my time. I'll shake his hand and that torch will be passed. Could it be you? Could it be somebody else? Who knows? But right now, my time's not up because I ain't ready. I got a lot left to give.
You
I
got
know that I
OCW
do.
to talk about Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage. James Taylor returns to talk about the big boss, TIP. James Taylor will talk about the OCW roster, and James Taylor will talk about what is the future for him. But just saying, Comatose has been here tonight. Comatose has rattled off an impressive list of people he has defeated inside the backyard wrestling circuit and now in the promo wrestling circuit. He has 5 championship belts. And there will be a time, James Taylor, Father Time is undefeated. Flair might be trying to beat Father Time. Jericho's still going. I mean, there are people, the Hardys. I mean, listen, the Hardys and Dudleys are going at it one more time. But James Taylor, there is a fact of Father Time is undefeated, and Comatose could be that man that you pass that torch to. Who knows when it could be, but he could be that man.
I think it's not a matter of where Comatose is at this very moment in his career. It's more of how high can he go.
Well,
I
he's
want
got
to see
5
him go
championship belts.
higher.
He's
Just like
got
I
5
told another
championship belts.
individual. Remember, Tom, another individual I told, he's a little bit bald right now and up there in the Midwest somewhere. And
Yeah.
beside the
Yes.
point, I told him about 2.5 years ago, almost the same thing. And look at him now. He's going at it as much as he can. And he's doing
He has
everything he
been one of the
can.
greatest generational wrestlers in this circuit, but when you spoke to him then he had hair. Now he obviously is bald and he's got some other issues that he's got to contend with because apparently he's being chased by a man you've also been in the ring with, but we're not going to go there. But I'm just saying that Comatose could be that man that nipping at your heels. We've seen you here with other guys from other places, but this is the guy that has looked you in the eye and has got the upper hand.
I'll leave it at this.
Okay.
Comatose, I wouldn't have come on here if I didn't somewhat give a damn about you and who you are as an individual. So I'm going to do for you what I did for a few other people, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask me any one question over anything I said, anything you want. Ask me any question. Just make sure it's not a stupid question.
Not about
If you
Final
need
Fantasy,
any
not
type of
about
an
Teenage Mutant Ninja
advice,
Turtles.
just any one question that you're dying to know, that you would need to know, something that might help you in your life, in your career. This is your opportunity to ask a question, and I'm gonna let you have it, and that's it.
Okay.
Over everything I said, do you have any questions to what I said? And no, not
Ah,
about Ninja Turtles.
I
ah,
I do have a question. You know, and you were right. You wouldn't have come on here if you didn't care about me, right? But
Course,
you also said something else that kind of didn't ring too well with my ears because I heard a lot of
I'm gonna clean your ears out.
circling.
Make sure you
So,
heard
no,
me.
I know I heard it clearly, but I just want to make sure that you heard what you said clearly.
Oh, I know
So
exactly everything
how
I said.
so how is it that you know and respect me so much, but I'm not a household name yet? How
Mm.
is it that you're on this podcast here and you gave a damn enough to come on here for me? And we have this long list of accomplishments that I have done. And I know you said you don't care about accomplishments or titles, but then why does so many people care so much? And why do you care so much if I'm not already a household name?
Well, I can't speak for the other people. The other people are beneath me. See, what matters is with me is
That's
the
some
fact that
RTG shit if I've ever heard it. It's
you see, what matters is because if I come on here and I'm showing that I care, it's because I see something in you. I see potential. I see that potential, just like I've seen in a few other superstars who've become what they're becoming now, and more power to them. It's because I'm always right. I see some potential in you that you have yet to unlock. You have an unlocked potential. Think of it kind of like because it's your generation, and but actually I'm a big gamer too. Think of it like some unlocked DLC of a season pass like 3 or something that you haven't got to yet. You bought it, but you're waiting for it to release. You haven't released it yet. You haven't unlocked that bonus material to unlock the whole potential of what Comatose is. But you're getting there. And when you finally get there, you'll know it. And when you know it, the world will know it. Because the world will be like, hey, you know about Comatose? Where'd you see what he's been doing down there in Oregon. Did you see what he did over there in California? Did you see he was going over here to North Dakota? Some random shit. They're going to be talking about you. I look for see it like a keen eye. I'm watching all the potentials that are out there. Look at a little company in the Midwest who started at 300 or 400 subscribers when I saw them, and now they've blown up to 2,000 or 3,000. I don't talk about them much anymore because they got a little bit air over their head. But hey, more power to them. I leave it alone. They do what they're doing, and they're continuing on. Same thing. That's just what I do. I see something in you, kid. And don't knock my age and say that it's the dementia kicking in, that I didn't understand anything that I said to you, because there is no dementia when it comes to the nemesis James Taylor. You see, with age comes wisdom. And that's exactly what I've got. And I'm just sharing it with the world. So I see something in you, and you just haven't unlocked it yet.
Maybe one more promo match. Maybe one more promo match.
One more promo match.
Hey, you didn't say the promo wrestling days were done. You didn't say that.
I
You
never
did
said
not.
it, no.
The promo wrestling you didn't say. Never say you did. You never said never on that.
You didn't never say ever.
Never, not never, ever say. No, I didn't. You're right. You're
Yeah, promo
absolutely
you
right.
didn't. Promo you
I
didn't.
have my mixed feelings when it comes to the backyard underground wrestling scene, and what I
But
said, I
promo you
felt.
didn't.
I felt, and a lot of people have responded to it. A lot of people have reached out to me. A lot of people liked it. They've shared it. They're wishing me, if they think like it's a farewell tour of my own. Like, no, I'm not done. It's just for the majority aspect of it, I'm done with it. There's a few little loose ends that I need to tie up that I want to handle, of course. But after that, I am absolutely 100% done with underground and backyard wrestling. And I'm going to focus on my career still doing what
But
I already
promo
do.
wrestling you didn't say the same thing to was the point.
Well, that's like a hit or miss when it comes to the promo wrestling world. I have my mixed feelings on the promo wrestling world that people know, but I'm just going to keep that at bay for now.
But you got Comatose here, and there are a lot of people that would like to see you and Comatose again in the promo wrestling world.
Yeah, but I think the difference this time would be me doing a promo, and there it is.
But
So
Lyra Limber and Devin Adams, who were also ring stalwarts like you, they came up short against this man.
yeah, and ask those gentlemen about me, and they'll tell you, "Oh, I always wanted to have a match with James Taylor."
Well, I mean, Nathaniel Rage found out. I guess you could make that point.
Yeah, Nathaniel
Nathaniel Rage.
Rage found
Yes.
out quicker
Another
than
person
anybody.
I've beaten. Just saying.
Well, you know what? You have the mutual, and that could be maybe Nathaniel Rage could be the special referee.
Maybe,
He
maybe.
can't be. Listen, he
So,
can't be. And by the way, we have pro wrestling coverage on Monday, which we'll get into that at a different time. But
and today's
I'm
Friday.
well, it was
That's
Thursday.
Thursday.
Now it turned in. It was Thursday. Now it turned into Friday because you came on, and we
Yeah,
thought,
that's
all
right.
right,
It's Friday.
we'll let
Yeah,
you
today.
keep talking for a few minutes
Well, it's
because,
Thursday for me, so
It's
still it's
Thursday for
eleven
me too.
eighteen.
and
So
you're bringing people out. Hubie Jenkins is here, Matsuda is here, Dark Kron's here. People will wonder where you've been, and I guess you'll talk about this to these people on Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. I
look at all
mean,
these people just popping up now that I popped up
popping
here.
up.
You see what I'm talking about, Comatose? It's just I
No,
just
Freaking
pop
they
up.
were
Garrett.
waiting in the shadows. They were waiting in the shadows, and they thought, okay, well,
That's when you know. That's when you know that you're over.
When
no,
you
That's
get
when you
numbers.
know that you don't have to have a title, because I don't. That's what I was trying to
but
make.
but you do
You
have a
got that
title.
potential, and it's coming. It's
But you
coming.
have a title. You're the Tyrant King. That's your title on your screen.
Well, yeah, it's true. You technically, I've been called a lot of names. Call me the Tyrant
Host
King.
of the
Call me the
Host of
Nemesis.
the Nemesis Sessions. You were the host of the Nemesis Sessions.
You call me a Stone Cold knockoff. You could call me whatever.
It's
See,
Fact
that's
will
fine.
always
I'm a CM
remain.
Punk knockoff.
well,
Yeah,
you know what? But maybe you guys are responsible for the guy that wrote Batista's song was here. Maybe he wouldn't have came on without you guys building, helping the platform. You know, that's a good point.
Oh yeah.
You know,
so now that I answered your question, do you got anything else? Did that answer your question?
Yeah, that did answer my question. Um A legitimate question. What keeps you going?
What keeps me going? The adrenaline rush every time I step through a curtain, and every time I'm walking to that ring and I step in that ring.
We
It's just
talked
an
about that with
adrenaline
Mark
rush.
Edwards. I talked about that. It's funny you said that. I had mentioned we were talking about his band, first time 18 years playing. And I said in the wrestling world, it's the same thing. Wrestlers keep going because of that adrenaline rush, whether it's the fans live, whether it's on YouTube with the chat. I mean, it's that adrenaline rush that you wrestlers get. And that's why it can't
It's
be
the
no other way.
fact that adrenaline rush is like a high that you just can't explain. And even at a place like, and I'll talk more about this Saturday night, but even in a place like OCW, I've never been before. When I showed up to that arena, maybe a lot of people didn't know who I was just yet in that fatal four-way match. But when I ended the match, they were like, Whoa, who's this guy?" But then when I went out and met TIP face to face,
Oh, we're going to talk about that.
whether it was
We
a
are going to be
positive
talking
or a
about that.
negative, yeah, whether it was a positive or negative reaction when they started chanting, "Who are you? Who are you?" Like, whoa, what is this? I got their attention, and when I put his big ass neck right here and I turned his lights out and I held his title, that arena erupted like, who is this guy? Because their top star just got laid out and was looking at the lights. It wasn't for a match, but it was me sending him a message, and I'll talk more about that Saturday. But that's what my song's about too. I leave my mark, Comatose, every single place I've ever been, because that's what it means. Every little detail when it comes to this business. That's how much I love and appreciate, respect this business. Even my song describes who I am. That's what your theme song should do, is describe who is Comatose, because is that what your theme song does? Everything you do, from the way you walk out to the ring, the way you step in that ring, the way you perform, the way you walk back through that curtain, you leave it all in that ring, no matter what. The blood, the sweat, the tears, all of it. You leave it all in that ring for that audience because you're there to entertain that crowd. And the one reason that I do this more than anything is for my wife, because she never saw the old James Taylor. She's seen the James Taylor of now. And that's all I do. I perform for her, and it's that adrenaline rush I still get that I used to always have, and that's why I still do this, and I'll continue to do it as
Now,
long as my
now,
body won't give up.
which is why
Period.
we're going to tune in Saturday. But before we leave, Mr. Matsuda would like to say you have something to announce.
Huh?
Ah, yes.
Uh,
I will be the person announcing the Wrestling Zero draft.
Wow, that's congratulations! Wow,
Thank you.
you are announcing the draft.
Yes.
That's a big accomplishment, a big
Yes.
thing that you have an opportunity to do. What's a tremendous honor! Congratulations! We're very
Thank you.
excited about that.
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And we'll
It'll be
see
coming up
more
soon.
of Wrestling Zero. And that's a great segue because Wrestling Zero, if you want to watch some of their content, they've got a lot of stuff in the pike.
Oh yeah.
And if you want to check it out, they have a YouTube channel, which I see some people here are in the house for. So they are closing in on 170 subs. And if you'd like to give them a sub, that'll get them over the magic 170 milestone. So if you want to check it out,
Let's
you
push
could
them
do that.
over.
Yep, get them over the threshold. And yes, good. We're gonna go as well soon, Jade. I know it's getting late, and people are getting ready to go. It's a Thursday and a Friday, but yes, hit the sub button for Wrestling Zero. You can certainly do that. There can't be no other way, and you'll see more content from us. And that's why you need to support Wrestling Zero. And thank you, Hubie, for that. And one sub there. And there you go. 170. Thank you, Hubie. 170. There you go. That's
Heck
why putting up those
yeah.
links are important. All right. Well, then I think we've talked. Don't want to take any. No, but it's okay. It's a big moment. It is a very big moment to have. And we're going to make that announcement. We'll put that on Instagram when we get off the air. It's a big announcement. Huge deal to have Comatose, especially what he's been doing. And I'll make sure that that announcement gets posted when we're off the air. So that's a big deal. Wrestling Zeros on Instagram also. And you're going to see a lot more talent ahead in Wrestling Zero. And Comatose is going to help us lead the way for that. So we thank
Oh yeah.
Comatose for his contribution to Wrestling Zero. We hope everybody continues to follow Wrestling Zero. You have any final thoughts here, Comatose, tonight?
Final thoughts are this. Whether it's you, James Taylor, or whether it is another king named Navon McDonald, I want the very best to walk into that BTW ring, look me in my eye, very similar how you did to the big boss man TIP, and I want them to show me what they're made of. I want them to show me the fire that they have lit under their ass for a chance of taking this belt that I have held for over 500 days now. I would like to see if anyone wants to make their moment.
On that moment, if you want to make your moment toward Comatose, that is his Instagram page. You can check him out. You can also check out BTW. That'll air this Tuesday. It'll be 6 o'clock Eastern time. They'll all be back here 2 weeks from Monday, and you will not want to miss that. And it is also Comatose Day here on Sportswire Radio. We'll make sure Comatose gets that physical copy when we're off the air. And, James, if you have a word before we sign off, I know you'll be back here Saturday to talk a lot more about OCW and talk about some other things. But if you had a minute or two or you had a final word, maybe you'd like to have one since you've forgotten how to do a closing thought or two on Sportswire. It's been so long since you've been here. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Thanks. I appreciate that, Tom. Thanks for really thinking of me that way.
I was trying to, I know.
It's all good. I mean, follow Sportswire Radio 6579 because you definitely don't want to miss.
Yeah, Nikki Six of Motley
Crue.
Nikki Six of Motley Crue did. He watched
right.
and listened to what I had to say. I mean, the founder
that was
of
a
Motley
hell of
Crue.
a podcast. That was a hell of an episode. Go check that out, especially if you're a fan of Saliva like I am.
He's a good band. Joey Knight Jr. messaged me. A guy you helped as a protege of yours said, "Oh, I just saw Josie Scott last year." He's like, "Wow!" And then I had the Real Deal Eclipse. He was like, "You know Josie Scott?" I'm like, "Yeah." I had at least 3 other wrestlers go, "Wow, you know Josie Scott?" I'm like, "Yeah, he came on, and it was a great honor." Yep, it was a great honor.
Josie Scott's awesome, and but that right there, he had Savio Vega, the man who faced my very mentor, or not really mentor, the guy I idolized more than anybody, right? Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, check this guy out. Follow Tom Bryce here on Sportswire Radio. You know what, Comatose, you keep doing what you're going to do. You're going to do great, kid. You know what? More power to you. But if we ever faced again, promo, I'm going to demolish you. But I'm just kidding. Calm down. So anyways, I will be here Saturday. Maybe you'll come and join me. Maybe you'll come say hi whenever you see what I got to say about the wrestling world.
The link will be available. But that's the show. It is Comatose Day one more time. I'm with Hubie. All wrestling matters. Shout out to Wrestling Zero. Thank you, Yoshi Matsuda. Thank you to everybody tuning in here. Darkron was in here earlier, and Darkron got 7 stars from Copper Dragon. So congratulations to him and the EWA gang. And thank you to the BTW contingent and Zilla and everybody else. And we'll be here tomorrow. Also, Mama Comatose. We continue to have her in our thoughts and prayers. Congrats to Mikey D. And Sean Jovi will be here today now. He'll be here today to talk about some familiar names and such like that. And it'll be, I'm sure, quite a conversation. Sean Jovi makes his return, and he hasn't been here in about as long as you, James. So Comatose hadn't been here on his own in about as long as you. So there you have it. But great stuff. There'll be somebody here Sunday, but we won't mention who he is, James, because you'll know who he is. And we're not going to go there. We're going to keep it on the positive. Yeah, we're going to go, but we're going to stay positive. We're going to stay positive because we want to keep. We want to keep bringing Josie Scott on Sportswire. We want to keep on Sportswire. We don't want him to change his mind and not come back. But Comatose is on Instagram. Follow him. James is on Instagram. He's really on TikTok. He's on YouTube. He's on Facebook. And you can check out BTW out there also in OCW. And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally all music and wrestling matters. We're joined by Mr. Five Belts himself, Comatose, the King of the West, the GOAT of BYW, and the Nemesis James Taylor, who will be back here Saturday night. Thank you, everybody. Hit the sub button for these guys, companies, and everybody else. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global radio into the Sportswire Radio with all music wrestling. I'll see you tomorrow about 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time with Sean Jovi. 8 o'clock, Mark M.E. Edwards. That's M.E. and like B-I-N-G-O. Bingo was his name-o. But he'll be here, and we'll talk about his band. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.